Number 319 in the Indicator series is Walk East on Beacon. This is the second movie from the Columbia Noir 2 set, and we've finally hit one that I think may be more tedious than Five Against the House. This is another case from the FBI files based on a true story that feels very much like anti-war propaganda against the sort of Red Invasion, the Cold War. It does have some elements of procedural.
This is a drama of real life, adapted from the recorded experiences of the Federal Bureau of Investigation,
as well as showing some interesting inner workings of a spy ring network, which is quite good. It's a movie that took me 2 watches to get all the way through. First time I think I got about an hour into it. Second time I managed to somehow pay attention and stick with the rest of the movie. And one of the main aspects I have in the movie is the way that it's spread out. We have all these various different characters and we don't really have a driving force of the movie. A main character that pushes this one forward, that's almost ever present, making sure that this case drives forward.
The FBI must always weigh the value of apprehending or losing one suspect against the possibility of uncovering all the members of an underground network.
An interesting idea as we watch the inner workings of the spy network, as we watch one member being swapped out for a higher ranking spy official who comes in, and we start to see him integrate himself within the spy ring, talking to various people, having their secret coded messages, and allowing himself to become the head of this spy ring and letting them know that the mission is going ahead sooner rather than later. And there is another interesting facet that I really did like about this movie, and it took a kind of sidestep to what I normally expect, a typical trope of this, where we have someone approached by this spy ring, told that they have his son in East Germany and that they will allow him to be freed if he does something for them. This professor, this scientist is working on a secret government operation. But rather than do what I expected him to do, he instantly went to the authorities. Now, it was a nice change of pace.
Remember, your son's life depends on your cooperation and your silence.
Would you mind telling us whatever you can about the circumstances leading up to the meeting with this woman?
Yeah, well...
But again, it kind of robbed the movie of that eternal threat and worry about those kind of characters. It just became perfunctory almost. And although Walk East on Beacon has some interesting moments, it does come across as incredibly dull. It's one of those movies where, again, we've got a narrator, we've got so many characters, we've got a lack of interesting characters, and it just seems to take its time getting from A to B to C, and it feels drawn out. And like I said, it took me 2 watches to get through it, not because the movie was bad, but just because it seemed to be incredibly dull.
But nothing is more essential to the success of the Bureau's operations against all criminals than the support of responsible and alert Americans.
And again, it feels, like I said, almost propagandish about the FBI and how they're always there, always watching, ready to catch anything or anyone at any given moment, and how they're so diligent and always on the case. But it doesn't make for the most interesting of movies. And again, it doesn't really feel like a noir movie to me. Like I said, noirs are kind of criminal elements, femme fatale, you've got murder and deceit and high pressure situations, and usually not great endings for a lot of our protagonists. And this movie just didn't fit into any of that. In fact, I somewhat enjoyed Walk a Crooked Mile. I can say that Walk East on Beacon was lesser than that. Just didn't hold my attention too much. I liked some of the characters, but they weren't as captivating as I wanted. I liked some of the situations, I liked some of the procedural elements, but it just didn't come together as a cohesive whole with something to really grab my attention. and make me sit up and pay attention. Now hopefully the other 4 movies seem to fit into more of the noir mould, and it's something that I'm looking forward to. But for me, Walk Eastern Beacon was a particularly average movie from its time. Nothing special. I'm one of the probably my least favourites out of all 4 of the sets so far. Love to know your thoughts on the movie. As always, there's extra content up here if you want to see more, and you can join my Patreon or the membership program if you want, and if you think I deserve it, hit like, subscribe, share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.